This week is Independent Bookshop Week, so I am going to read one poem that I wrote and one poem that I love from some of my favourite bookshops. And today I am in Toppings in Ely, which is a beautiful old multi-storey bookshop which has views of Ely Cathedral from the windows. Also, quite often they give you a cup of tea while you're walking around to look at books, which makes me feel very special. And they also have, as you can see, a little ladder behind you to get to the top, which is very helpful for very short people like me, and also isn't a plaything, but I will be going on it later, even though I don't need to get any of those those high books. So yeah, this is Toppings in Ely. It is beautiful. It's got a lovely children's section. It's got a great poetry section, and I'm going to read you two poems from here. So the one that I wrote, I'm going to read, is from Nobody Told Me, and it's called Reading to You, and it's just about how much I love, or loved, when she wanted it, reading to my daughter at bedtime. So I wrote this when she was 10.5 months old. Reading to You. I've had some beautiful nights in my life. Sleepovers, sneaking downstairs to the fridge, tiptoes with stomachs of bubbling giggles and wrappers of Snickers and Magnums and dribbles, some beautiful nights in my life. In beds and on couches, on Sundays just lounging with comfort and calmness and arms wrapped around me and popcorn sounds drowning out crunching through films. Some beautiful nights in my life. But sitting here, as night falls, reading to you, as you point to that cow and I attempt at a moo, and you laugh, and I do it again just for you. And the rain's pouring down, and the sound makes you calm, and your eyelids start sinking, and you battle them not to. Of all of the nights and stars I've walked through, of all of the nights and parties I've been to, I've had no greater night times than reading to you. Till you sleep, open-mouthed, ear on my arm, heart to my heart with a laugh as you drift into dreams, and I finish the book, though I know you're already asleep. I stare at your face in the still silent room. The best nights of my life have been reading to you. Right, that was the poem that I wrote, and this is the poem that I love, and I picked it out of the poetry section in Toppings, and it's called Mrs. Sisyphus, and it's from Caroline Duffy's The World's Wife, which was one of the first poetry books that I ever read in full as a book. I normally sort of dip in and out, but this one I read all of it, and it's all the wives of sort of famous mythical and real men. I didn't know who all the people were, so I'm just going to say, if any of you don't, I didn't know who Sisyphus was. I have not studied many myths in my life, but Sisyphus, to put it bluntly, I think he thought he was better than Zeus, so Hades punished him for eternity, I think, and he had to roll a rock basically up a hill, which then rolled back down again, and then that was it forever. Gutted. So this is from the point of view of Mrs. Sisyphus. That's him pushing the stone up the hill, the jerk. I call it a stone. It's nearer the size of a kirk. When he first started out, it just used to irk, but now it incenses me and him, the absolute Burke. I could do something vicious to him with a dirk. Think of the perks, he says. What use is a perk, I shriek, when you haven't the time to pop open a cork or go for so much as a walk in the park? He's a dork. Folk flock from miles around just to gawk. They think it's a quirk, a bit of a lark. A load of old bollocks is nearer the mark. He might as well bark at the moon. That feckin' stone's no sooner up than it's rolling back all the way down. And what does he say? Mustn't shirk. Keen as a hawk, lean as a shark. Mustn't shirk. So that was one I wrote, one I love, from the beautiful Toppings in Ely, which is especially, I think, nice to come to near Christmas or just in wintertime in general. Ely's a very nice place too. So I read Reading to You from Nobody Told Me, and if I can get it the right way around, Mrs. Sisyphus from Caroline Duffy's Caroline, it sounds like I'm saying Caroline, but I'm not. Caroline Duffy's The World's Wife. So yeah, I am now going to go and climb up that ladder a few times because that's the dream. really, in a bookshop. And also to say that in this bookshop they've got a really good selection of these. Instead of buying a card for people, you can buy a little book of poems. Very nice, very nice. I do that a lot. Maybe for Independent Bookshop Week, go into your independent bookshop and buy a book if you can. And don't buy them off Amazon because it's shit for the authors. And it's shit for the bookshops. All right, bye. Happy Independent Bookshop Week.